Well, I'm looking at a chart for the Euro USD, and I need to activate the cursor on HotCom, which I've just done. I'm going to add a couple lines to this chart. I'm making one at 80. I want to make it thick and black, not because it's important, just to highlight recent price action. Actually, let's make it at today's high, about 82, 83. And I'm going to focus on mostly London session price action. Let's put a line at, let's call it 58. You do the math there, folks. That's as good as it got. From about 1.3060 to just above 1.3080. Yes, you're right. That's hardly 20 pips. Folks, there are plenty of New York morning sessions when the average size of the 15-minute candles are 20 pips. That is welcome to thin holiday trading. What can I say? There was every reason as a trader to look at this kind of price action and decide I'm not going to do anything until it breaks out of that range. Nothing. But, I mean, let me remove these black lines. By the way, both of these areas have been important in the past, and probably in the past several trading days. 3060 level, as I recall, was important not last week, but the week before, and it was important some last week as well. But a couple weeks ago, we saw, actually it was 2 weeks ago today, the 1.3060 level seemed to define the New York morning low, the New York morning session low, and the following day it defined the high for the day, around 3060. So that 3060 area has been important, and I've got it referenced here with a horizontal blue line in the middle of this chart. 65 is coming into play as well. I believe that was important on a session or two late last week. And 30, I've got a thin horizontal purple line in near the top of this chart around 3084. I can probably zoom out to a 4-hour chart to define when that came into play. Yeah, notice I know I have a lot of markings in this chart. The December 16th high and the high from this would be yesterday's high near there as well, that near that 3080 level. And one thing I didn't mention in my live coaching session at FxBootcamp was that, by the way, an abbreviated session. We don't do that very often, but on a week like this, we have more abbreviated coaching sessions. I normally coach for 3 hours and only coached a 90-minute session today, just because nothing's happening. One thing I did mention, I've got trend lines all over my charts, not just Euro charts, but other currency pairs as well. And what I told the live class essentially is that if you expect the market to respond to things like trend lines, moving averages, I mean, it's less likely in an environment like this when the market's going to react to such things. There's simply fewer traders in the market, fewer buyers and sellers. These are conditions for a so-called thin market. The big money movers in the currency world, the hedge funds, for example. Hedge funds are likely out in the market. Traders are taking vacation, time up with family, skiing in the mountains, whatever. People are just away from the charts, and what we're left is with not enough traders, not enough firepower to move the market around. And you could argue a lack of news to provide the spark or catalyst to move the markets as well. So it wouldn't surprise me, and just a quick outlook, wouldn't surprise me if the euro continues much the same. We get maybe a 20-pip trading range during one session, and maybe a little things that wake up from time to time between now and the end of the trading week. But maybe the market drifts generally further higher, which has tended to do since the middle of this month. You see the green uptrend support line defined with some recent higher lows since the December 14th. But maybe the euro tends to follow that for a while. But or maybe we hit a major trend line like one of the orange ones I have in the upper half of my chart, and finally the euro will respond to that. Other than that, though, I expect this to be a very uneventful week. Simply put, a very fairly uneventful week. If in terms of news, there may be one thing that comes to mind that could affect the euro before the end of the week. We've got a bond auction in Italy coming up actually there's some bill auctions tomorrow in Italy, but some long-term Italian paper being sold on Thursday at auction, and that would be the results of that bond auction for Italy would be released during the London session on Thursday. So if that bond auction goes particularly well or particularly poorly, I suppose that could move the euro. Although one could argue that a bond auction like that, there just may not be anybody around who would pay. There may not be enough big money around, like hedge funds, that will pay attention to that and respond to it. So, right or wrong, the bond auction could go very well or very poorly on Thursday, and the currency market might just pretty much ignore it. In fact, there were some developments just today in some of the the data, some of the things that I track from time to time to help, among other things, help me gauge sentiment for or against the euro, for example. That things that could have been notable market movers, but just have not been the case today.